Hi, my name is Dennie Swanscott. I'm the Senior Program Director and Head Swim Coach for the Glens Falls Family YMCA. This weekend would have been the Glens Falls Gators YMCA Championship State Meet. And that's a meet where all the YMCA teams from New York State come together and compete. I have kids on my team that are seniors this year, and I'd like to give them a little shout out. Natalie, Ross, Jeffrey, Jen, and Megan. Those guys have trained, some of them for 8 years on the team, and this would be their big state meet. And if anyone knows me or has been on the team, you may have heard a story that I like to talk about when there's a situation where something that isn't planned, or you train really hard and you don't do as well as you think, or you miss some big thing that's going on, any kind of change in your daily life schedule, as we are in right now. It's called The Story of the Horse, and it goes like this. There was a farmer with a horse, and one day the horse runs away, and the townspeople are like, "Oh, you are really unlucky." And the farmer says, maybe not. And the next day, the horse comes back, and following the horse is a mare. And the townspeople are like, oh my gosh, he is the luckiest guy ever. His horse runs away and brings back a mare. Now he has 2 horses and can produce more. The next day, his son gets on the mare to break it, and he gets a broken leg. He falls off and breaks his leg. And the farmer gets accosted by his neighbors, and they're like, oh my gosh, now your son can't work your fields for you. You have the worst luck ever. And he's like, maybe not. The next day, the army comes through the town, and they're calling all the firstborn sons, and his son can't go. So the neighbors are like, wow, you are so lucky. And he says, maybe not. The story is a great way to say things. Sometimes you think it's really bad, and it's not. I've seen lots of posts where people are out with their families, and I've seen people riding bikes, and maybe take a breath and give ourselves some time. I've used this story with the team and as an example when someone gets injured and has to come in the pool and they can't put their face in and they can't swim with their hands and they have to kick. Sometimes it's important to remember that just because you can't do one thing one way, you might be able to strengthen something in a different way. So I'm here to talk about aquatics with no pool. So there's a couple different ways, groups I guess, that need the pool to use the pool to swim. So first we have little kids, swim lesson age kids. These kids, all you really need to do with them, as I like to say, I learned how to swim in a bucket because I went to the beach and my swim instructor put a bucket on the beach sand and said, put your face in the bucket and blow bubbles. And you can put your kids in the bathtub with their suit and goggles on and have them put their face in and blow bubbles. You can put them in the bathtub with your dish soap, and I gotta tell you, doggy paddle makes some really great bubble forts. There's a lot of really fun things you can do with water any other time, and really anything you do outside, playing, all that stuff is called dry land for the Gators. We do it every day. We run outside, we bike inside, we throw balls at each other. Usually they're weighted. We do a lot of things that, just really involve every muscle group and keep everybody active. So for little kids, I would just suggest getting them in the bathtub. So aquatics with no pool for adults. The main thing is shoulder strength. We do bands on the team every day, and when we're tapering and we stop doing the bands, I really feel my shoulder strength deplete. So now, since we can't get in the pool, is a great time to get a band routine. If you don't have bands, these would be bands right here. You can get them at Walmart. They come in different, or on Amazon, they come in different strengths, I guess you would call it. Or if you don't have bands, you can use cans or water bottles. I often have my younger kids use water bottles or cans because they're less weight. I'm just going to show you all the band exercises we do to keep your shoulders strong. You can do these twice a day or sometimes 3 times a day if you're feeling like you want really strong shoulders. Okay, so we do 12 on each side. This is really a rotator cuff shoulder strengthening. You just pull it out and pull it in. Your band should be about even with where you're pulling from. So this side stays and you want it tight, and you come out and you go in. You don't want to have it loose so that you're pulling the band like this. You want to make sure it's tight, and you go 12 out, and then you do this opposite side and you go 12 in. If you're having trouble, we should do 15, but whatever. If you're having trouble with your elbow coming out, you can put something there like a piece of paper. Or my kids put a swim cap. So then you're holding that there so it doesn't fall out. The next one that we do is rows, which again, you want your bands level with your pulling, where you're pulling from, and you just pull your shoulder blades back and forward. And you don't want to do this fast. You want to go slow and really hold it back here and then go slowly forward. And you can make this as strong or as loose as you want. It's really just for the flexibility and shoulder strength. You also don't want to have it come snapping back. So don't make it so tight that you can't bring it back. It's really about pressing your shoulder blades together. The other one we do that's sort of from the same position, you're going to bring your, it's a bicep and then it's a tricep. So you want to just bring it up and bring it down. You want to not go forward and back like this. Your body should be straight. You're just going up and down. So 15 of those as well. The next one would be sword pull. So the sword pull is tricky because a lot of the kids like to bend their elbow and bring it up. That's not what we're doing. You're going to come up straight arm, and you're not going to go past the top of your shoulder. So you're not going to be up here, you're going to be right here. And then you're going to go straight back. Same thing with the band, you want to keep them tight on both sides. It's sort of like a sword pull. You're bringing your sword out and right across the front of your body. Okay, so 15 on each side of those. The next one we do, usually we do this, sometimes you, like if you were doing it on a doorknob or something, you could get on your knees to do this. But because this is here, I can probably, no, I'm going to show you on my knees because it's better. Even, again, you want it even with where you're pulling from. So this is touchdowns and field goals. I'm not sure which one is which. Your elbows should be 90 degrees from your shoulders. You bring it up and you go back down. Again, it's just a shoulder rotation thing. It's working all the tendons and ligaments around your shoulders just to keep everything tight and strong. You're also holding your shoulder blades together when you're doing it. Then you switch sides this way and do the same exact thing here. A lot of my little younger kids like to come down here. That's not exactly what we're doing. Notice we're just moving the shoulder right in place. Then, if you want to do the gator's way we do it, then we do biceps where you step on it and you bring it up. Now this one's really, really loose, so you would just make it tighter. Then we do 10 push-ups. The next one you do is the tricep, where you stand on it. I'm going to stand out here because I want it tight. You bring it over your head and you come straight up. And you bring it down, straight up. Again, you want to do this with purpose. You don't want to have it come back flying down. You up and down. Straight up, straight down. Pretty sure that's all the bands that we do. Those are great exercises to do. Even younger kids can do those. You can get out the cans. So those are some tips. The bands are great exercises actually when you can get in the pool. They're really good for your shoulders as well. The tips for kids in the water is just to get them in the water and not be afraid of it. Put their face in, play, have fun, get your siblings in there together, whatever you need to do. Another really important thing for anyone that gets involved in the water at any time is flexibility. We started tapering the team this year, and I noticed they were really lacking in flexibility, so we did a whole bunch of stretching. And that's something that you can always improve, whether you're 80 or 8. And one of the best things to do for a swimmer, because I know a lot of masters or triathletes run and bike a lot and their ankles get really tight. I'm going to show you a couple stretches for sitting on your ankles, which are really great. And you can do this when you're watching TV, which some of you may be doing. You can do this when you're getting ready to stretch for the day, early in the morning. And really, you'll see a difference if you keep doing it. So you just get down on your knees, and you sit on your feet. Some of you might find this, you struggle with your knees. You could put a block. You could put I'm going to use this, even though this is a little hard. You could put a block right here, or a blanket. Blanket would work, probably better than that. You can sit on your knees, and then what I like to have the team do is come up on your ankles like this, just to stretch them out. And really, you only want to go as far as you can. If you can't get down, you don't go down. If you can get right here, just go right to your edge and sort of sit there and let it settle. And any kind of leg and hamstring stretches. I know the Y's doing a lot of videos, and try something new. Try everything you can. Now's the time we have lots of yoga classes that are online. I've seen a lot of the yoga places everywhere posting free classes right now. It's the best time to try that kind of stuff. Stay active, stay healthy, and have fun.